Today I will tell you about a solo that I'm going to play next week, and this is in the St Mattew Passion. The Matthew Passion is a really great tradition in the Netherlands. It's around Easter. Before Easter it's played in a lot of places, a lot of concert halls and a lot of churches, and I've been playing the Matthew Passion, the Matteus Passion for many years, and I have played as well the first orchestra concertmaster part as the second orchestra concertmaster part, and that means that there are two big violin solos that are very important and beautiful and really honor to play. And today I'll tell you about the second one, because the second orchestra violin solo is the Blutgeld Aria, and this aria is, I think, for violin is one of the hardest things to play, because you must imagine the St Mattew Passion is very long. So this aria is in the second half, and many times that I've been playing this, it was in cold churches. And so the first half is pretty long. It's gorgeous, emotional. And then you get to the second half. And the second orchestra doesn't have much to play. And by the time you get this solo, you're kind of sitting there all the time and you're listening to the other orchestra playing. And right before this Blutgeld aria, there's the beautiful Erbarme-dich. So you're sitting there, you're waiting, and there's Erbarme-dich, and it's a very nice solo to play, but still, of course, there might be some nerves, and I'm very sensitive to what I feel from other musicians. So when somebody else is playing this solo, I kind of internalize this feeling, and together with the nerves for this solo, it's pretty difficult to be prepared to play the Blutgeld aria, because it's all of a sudden it's a burst of energy, and it's a burst of notes, and really difficult notes. So when you're sitting there, you're cold. That's already something that you have to be prepared of when you're playing this aria. So stay warm, keep breathing, keep thinking, keep your hands warm, and be prepared to give this burst of adrenaline. Okay, so right before this aria there is this recitativo, and when this recitativo starts, you have to be prepared. You have to have your stand up if you're standing up. You have to turn the page so you're ready to start, because it's going right into the aria. Now, in this recitativo, there is it's about Judas. He has betrayed Jesus for money, his friend. And when all the things have been happening, Jesus being caught, and Judas is getting remorseful. He regrets what he's done once he realizes what is actually happening. And so he goes to the magistrate, I don't know how to say it, he goes to the king, and he says, I didn't mean this, I want my money back, and I want Jesus back. So give me and this is said in the Aria, this is sang in the Aria, give me back my Jesus. I don't want this money. I give you the money back, and I want my Jesus back. I think I just said that wrongly before. So I'm giving back the money, and please give me back my Jesus. And this is what he's saying. So what is happening in this aria? It starts syncopated. That's something to realize. And there is a lot of power to this plead. Pam pam tam pam pam. There's a lot of there's rhythm, and there's power. There is emotion. I once played this with an orchestra where the conductor said, "This is party. It's about partying with the money." No, it's definitely not partying with the money. It's Judas saying, "Please give me back my Jesus." And he wants back the 30 Silberlinge, the 30 coins. Now, somebody told me, I've read it many times, that it's about 30 coins. There are exactly 30 notes in the first tutti. So I started counting. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So I was wondering about that. How's that 31? And I was doubting, well, what's this? What about this? How is this possible? But okay, when you go back to the reprise, it's slightly different, and there is actually one note less in the end of the theme, so it's and not. So this mystery is solved. There are 30 notes, about the 30 Silberlinge in the first tutti. That's pretty amazing, huh? Okay, then what tempo has this to be played? It's with a bass singer. And you have to be prepared actually to play it in any tempo, because you never know who's going to be the soloist and what they want with the tempo. You don't know. I don't know which conductor I get. I don't know if it's a conductor who wants it fast, who wants it slow. I have to find my own tempo that I like the best, but you have to be prepared to play it in any other tempo. So just practice it with a metronome. And the thing is, how do you get the right tempo? There is a tempo, I'll talk later more about the violin, but there's a tempo that feels natural, and that is, for example, that's this. So that's 1, 2, 2, 2. That is actually so that's 94. If I continue in this tempo, okay, so this is pretty okay with the theme. So that feels pretty good as an easy tempo in which you can really play. But what happens a lot is that the tempo is taken from the recitativo before. So then es ist Blutgeld, Blutgeld, then es ist Blutgeld, and usually they're going faster and faster in this, and then so then es ist Blutgeld, then es ist Blutgeld. Yum bum 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 bum. So that's then really fast. This actually hardly ever happens, because even when it starts in this fast tempo, everybody always goes slower. So that's not, I don't like that. I want it to be one tempo. So, but in a way, then es ist Blutgeld, then es ist Blutgeld. And then this is the tempo song. Es ist Blutgeld, then es ist Blutgeld. So now I'm already on 110. Well, that's really fast. So eventually I came to a tempo that is 100. Still pretty fast. So play this with a metronome. Now it's very important that in the orchestra, the second violins, violas, who play quarter notes, keep the tempo and know the tempo. Because the first violins are playing syncopation. Bum, 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 bum. It's very important. Alright, so there we go. Then there's always this thing about bowing. I have played this also on gut strings and with a baroque bow. Also there are in between solutions, you know, playing modern violin on 440 with a baroque bow is also very possible, because with the bow your articulation will sound different. But I'll be playing modern violin next week, so I'll practice it now on modern violin. And in fact, musically, it doesn't make that much difference. The music's the same, the expression is the same. Of course, we don't use vibrato in a modern romantic way when we play Bach, and we know the rules of, you know, making big jumps, making the notes a little shorter. Use vibrato when you need, when it's a color or how do you say that? Versiering. I don't know the English word. So yeah, so I'll have the modern violin, and then in this syncopation there's always discussion. What bowing should we do? Should we do up down? Or should we do down up? Which has a really totally different articulation. And then even somebody has written in this part, because being used by many people, down, down. Yeah, it shouldn't matter too much, because what matters is what you hear. And I want to hear the syncopation in which it says really clear, I want my Jesus back. To make this statement. So the thing is, with the baroque bow, you can be much more rough. So with a modern bow you have to be a little bit more careful, because otherwise you get all these false accents, which we don't like. But I'll try anyway to kind of make a Baroque feeling to it. So I always like the down up version, also in the arpeggios. So it's so that's the tutti. Then starts the solo, and you're on your own. Just continue and you. And the fun thing and the really gorgeous thing is that you can hear the money roll. You can hear this tingling of the coins being thrown on the floor by Jules. I don't want this money. Wow. So what I want is really letting ring this rolling notes. So I use as many open strings as I can. Now the next one, I always say, where is the movement? So there is a movement in the accompaniment. So, the other first violins go, and then in the solo it will be, and then accompaniment, solo, accompaniment, solo. So I want to get that out. So I go. So first, roll the coins. So give them extra bow, and then nothing happens because other violins, and then nothing. Now, and even when I'm playing in a big hall in a church, I give some vibrato on these high notes to make it a little less shrieky. So. And the nice thing what's coming now is that there's twice the same with an echo. So I go. And in these notes I hear this pleading, please, la 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 la. So. And even in the second time, the accompaniment of the other violins go. First time they go like this, but the second time is. So, please, please, please. Okay, we go on. Okay. Until here, this first solo, we have to make sure we play in the right tempo. So I put on my metronome. Too slow, so it's really important to keep up the tempo and still make it feel comfortable, so not have the feeling to have to rush and not slowing down, because that's not nice in this one. Okay, so we go on. The next bit is piano. There, the money. Other violins, and then again. And then again, pleading. So. All this, but then in tempo. So. Okay. Pleading, pleading. Tempo. Now, next bit is very difficult. There are two ways to play it. I always start second position, and I bend down to play this low A, and I stay in the second position. I've had many discussions with other violinists about how to play this. Somehow I like this in the middle of the battle. I would say it works the best for me, but you can also do, of course, first position, third. I find this very difficult. So in tempo it will be 2. And then goes the rest down. And there's a tutti in the 5th. So, and here now we're now bar 41. A lot of singers make a ritornito, which is not the place to do it, but they do it anyway. So, because it seems there's the reprise, but it's just not. It's just the 2 bars of the beginning. So if they make a ritornito, ignore it and try to continue the tempo with the orchestra. So there's this next solo is accompanying the singer. And then ask the continuer to stay in tempo, to continue. And now here can be a ritornito, because now we're going back to the tutti beginning. So, and then when you've made it to the end, you're happy. well, this is about what I can tell you about this solo of the Blutgeld aria. So, happy Matthäus.